Staff Sergeant Ryan. I'm here to give you some information on the agricultural issues of Afghanistan. These people are having a real bad problem because, like in the United States, when we started out, our people, they about starved to death before the Indians showed up to teach them how to actually, learn about agriculture, how to feed yourself. They weren't prepared for that. And now what we have in Afghanistan is they've kind of reversed that role. Afghanistan used to be the breadbasket of the world with the agriculture. And now what they've done is they've kind of reverted back since the Soviet Union came in, wiped out all their agricultural practices. Back when I was in Zabul province in 2010, we went on a patrol. And we saw these villagers, and they were all emaciated, they were lethargic, weren't moving around, didn't have very much energy. We asked the villager elder what was going on, what the problem was. He says, well, we have no food. We have 30 days so we don't have anything to eat. Like in the United States, we can go to the grocery store. Or we can go, restaurants, fast food, whatever. Here, these people have to sustain themselves. They have to grow their food, they have to store their food, and they have to process their own food. And we have a problem with that because the seed problems. The seed that they get is usually exported in from other countries. I can't give you those countries because of security issues. But on those same lines, they don't have any kind of grade, quality, so they don't know what they're getting when they pay for it. It's usually 3 times what it's worth. Other issues that they have, according to the USAID and USDA, is water issues. These people are in a drought. The normal way of flowing water is through flood irrigation. Flood irrigation means that they dug canals around their crops and just flooded the water in. And what they get is what they get. There's no turn the water hose on, turn the pump on, or anything of that nature. If you'll look at your handouts that I passed you out, that'll show you the seed quality. If you'll read the first chapter, or the first paragraph on the first page there, what that means is they have it's a different kind of seed. The seed quality is not, it shows you in there that it's not regulated seed, it's not germinated seed, and it's not fertilized. So when they get it, it's basically worthless. It's just like, you just got the bottom of the barrel, that's what you have. The next thing on there, that whole chart that's on that page will show you where most of the seed that they get comes from. Okay, the water issues that they have, they're getting it out of the ground, but they don't want to use the deep well type of pumps and stuff like that, because when they think that they're pulling water out of deep wells, that they're actually taking all the water away from the aquifers. And when they take the water away from the aquifers, they don't have anything to sustain it. There's no way to fill it back up. They're in a drought. There's no watersheds. There's nothing to fill it back in. Unlike the problems that we have in the United States, we drill a well, we have reservoirs, we have pumps, all kinds of stuff here. None of that stuff. If you go into the villages, you'll see these people are digging holes in the ground to put their wells in, and they're dropping a bucket down in there to get it out. That water is not treated. There's no kind of chemicals or anything in it. And there's no way to keep it clean. They can get that stuff that has all kinds of corruption and disease and stuff in it, and that's what they drink. So if you look on page 4, you'll see the USAID in Afghanistan. They have reports there now to where they're trying to help them out. They started a program back in 2009. It's the wheat seed voucher. And what that means is they give vouchers to so many farmers, and the farmers will be able to go down and get fertilizer and quality seed to help with their crops. And then in return, after they grew so much wheat, they would bring back the quality amount of that food to turn back into the food bank in the form of wheat seed. And that right there is one of the ways that they have combated this starvation and famine problem that they're having. But still, the water is the main issue. And if you will, most of you may not be old enough to know, most of you do. You ever seen that movie Gone with the Wind? Scarlett O'Hara, she comes back after the war, she's out there, and she drops down, grabs a hold of a carrot, eats it out of the ground, and she gets sick at her stomach. That's because she has no food. These people are in the same boat. And she had a quote in there that says, "As God is my witness, I'll never be hungry again." Well, these farmers are kind of in the same boat. I mean, their farm, they go against security issues. They have, drought, and then they have low quality. I mean, they have tons of things against them. So that's one of the reasons that agriculture is so important in Afghanistan. Aldo Leopold, he also had a quote that says, there are 2 spiritual dangers. One being that you can think you can go to, that breakfast comes from the grocery store, and the heat comes from the furnace. What that means is we have become naive as a country in America, and we think that we have the bounty of everything. If you look into the middle of the summer of last year, in 2013, 2012, you see that the farms had problems growing in the United States. We had drought. We had overflooding. Out from Arkansas, the rice and everything, it was just horrible. One step away from not being prepared like the USDA is in the United States, we're in the same boat that Afghanistan's in. So that's something for you to think about. And in conclusion of this, we have talked about wheat seed, we have talked about seed quality, we have talked about water issues, and we've talked about famine. Are there any questions anybody might have about this? If not, this will conclude my presentation, and I'll be here for another 3 or 4 minutes if you have any questions in the back of the room. Thank you.